When I recorded adaptation and urban design, urban resilience, nature-based solutions for cities, there was a chapter called involving engaging art and design in nature-based design for cities. So this is along the same lines. Whale Hub museum collections and contemporary art to promote sustainability among higher education students. Obviously, we need to use everything we can to bring about awareness and hopefully behavioral change and engagement action. The Project Whale Hub is dedicated to the recently created permanent exhibition entitled Tales of a Whale at the Museum of Natural History of the University of Florence, centered around a fossilized whale skeleton. Exhibition balanced between scientific research and dissemination of knowledge for non-expert audiences, deals with the themes of environmental sustainability, cross-cutting different fields of knowledge such as paleontology, zoology, and ethnography, and promoting pro-environmental concern and behavior. This is very critical. You can do lots of things that raise awareness, but that doesn't necessarily translate to action, let alone behavioral change. So this focus here is also on behavior. Hopefully they are tracking the impacts. Aiming to develop the museum public and engage aiming to develop the museum or public museum and engage higher education students through new media strategies and non-canonical approaches or non-standard approaches. Whale Hub involves a selection of creative students from some of the major educational institutions in Florence to conduct an analysis on their perception of the themes dealt with by the exhibition. By means of a competition, the students create a communication prototype which popularizes the fragile stability of marine ecosystems affected by plastic pollution. The project involves also 3 young contemporary artists who participate to an expedition let me read it again. The project involves also 3 young contemporary artists who participate in an expedition in the marine protected area of Pelagos Sanctuary, hosting the largest population of large mammals of the Mediterranean and a problematic environmental site highly impacted by marine plastic pollution. They produce artistic research in dialogue with the scientists and biologists, sharing with it creative students of the university and of other important higher education, sharing it with the creative students of the university and of other important higher education institutions of Florence, fostering their engagement in sustainability through informal education or free choice learning. Sorry, I'm struggling reading because I'm really hungry. It's lunchtime, so sorry about that. Anyway, let me leave that there. There are some interesting details there in the chapter that you can go and look at, but I just wanted to include it to show that art and design, contemporary art, are very much able to contribute to adaptation and sustainability, not only behavioral, not only awareness raising, which is simpler, but also by introducing behavioral changes if they are designed properly with the scientists. If you know what your impacts are, let's say you are chewing on a bag of if you're chewing chips with the bag in your hand and you dispose of it even in a trash can without knowing where it actually ends up, then you may not even be aware of the impact you are having on something that's way out there in the middle of the ocean. So we know now that plastic pollution has reached the depths and breadth of the oceans. Obviously it's being consumed, and many birds and animals, turtles, tortoises, and so on are getting entangled. Fishing nets abandoned are killing dolphins and trapping. Going to have issues of going off in the middle of a recording, creating problems. So sorry about that. I'll try to edit it if it's too disruptive. So raising awareness can bring about change, at least in terms of trying to figure out how you would dispose of that plastic instead of just putting it into a dustbin that's out there. And you feel good that you didn't throw it on the streets, even though in many countries people are spoiling very nice museum sites, parks, hiking trails and so on with plastic by being careful about how they dispose them off. So these kind of contemporary arts and other arts projects can help. Street performances is something we talked about before, and students are engaged in performing them as well, so these can be very useful. Okay, let me leave it here.